Hey guys, how we doing? So we're back on another Nux Taku video, another honest anime descriptions video, and it's on My Hero Academia. The last one, every Class 1A student, was absolutely fantastic. I loved it. It was hilarious. It was brilliant. Love it. So, as soon as I seen he's done every villain in My Hero Academia, I was like, holy crap! I gotta check this shizzle out. And that's what we are going to do. I always mess up with these intros somehow. Now I'm digging myself a hole. But anyway, it's a bit of a long video, so we're just going to get straight into this. This is every villain in My Hero Academia. Honest anime descriptions from Nux Taku.
Yo, what's cracking, fanbase, and welcome to another episode of Honest Descriptions, where this time I'm honestly describing every villain in My Hero Academia.
Whoop.
This was the most requested topic since my honest description, and every student in Class 1A,
brilliant.
so we'll do this one now, and let me know in the comments which topic you'd like me to tackle next time. I'm currently considering every teacher, every student in 1B, and every pro hero. But yeah, just let me know. In case you're new here, the word honest in the descriptions has air quotes because this is a satire video.
Really
while I love Hero Academia enough to make several analyses on it, I also like it enough to make some fun of it. So hope you enjoy. Try not to get too triggered. There will be no shipping Shigaraki with Bakugo. Let's get started. Before we get into the League of Villains, let's first talk about all the unaffiliated villains we've seen in the series. Firstly, there was Giant Villain in episode 1. And yes, according to the wiki, his name is Giant.
Really?
A very original name, as I'm sure you've
That's
already
amazing.
understood. Aside from having a goatee and dreadlocks, some of the most dangerous hairstyles on the face of the planet, Giant Villain served the purpose to show Mount Lady's ass to the world. Her attack that beat him showed off her ass, and while they were taking away to jail, she was showing off her ass. At this point, you're probably thinking, well, that's like the main purpose of Mount Lady in the whole story. The idea is that she has the ultra thickness ability. And if that's really what you're thinking, well, then you sickos are 100% right. I made my fun of the female characters in Hero Academia in my honest description on 1A, which will be linked at the end and in the description. The second villain shown is the Sludge Villain. You know, the one that started off the Bakugo shipping. This was the slime tentacle hentai villain that captured Bakugo in the beginning. If I was completely honest, I don't really know what the creator of Hero Academia was thinking, making the slime guy, you know, shoving down these slime tentacles down Deku's throat, Bakugo's whatever. But hey, I guess that's why he's a villain. Pretty butt-ugly villain. A villain that after All Might Detroit smashed, still somehow, for whatever reason, decided to go into All Might's little plastic bottles. So I understand absolutely nothing about that. I mean, I get All Might Smash would blow this guy to smithereens and send him flying across the city. I don't understand how they were able to fit an entire sludge villain guy into those little plastic bottles, and I don't even know how they got him in there. All that aside, when he broke out and started molesting Bakugo, Deku decided to do something incredibly foolish. He threw everything to the side and decided, I personally am going to run up to the sludge villain that none of these heroes can beat, even though I'm quirkless and will definitely die. I will still run up to sludge villain to sacrifice myself for absolutely no cause. All Might's like, wow, this kid's going to sacrifice himself for absolutely no cause. What a hero! So he gave this little crybaby dude the most powerful gift in the universe. Yup, this guy is good at making decisions with a cool head. Go sludge villain. Go sludge villain. Next villain we see is Trapezius, who All Might defeated by tapping him on the head. But they don't really tell you about Trapezius' motive, and it's fairly simple. He was angry at the world and decided to mock the heroes and kidnap children because his terrible gigantification type word thingy makes him look like a big fat limp dick. God, I feel bad for this guy. Alright, so far, as far as the independent villains, we're 3 for 3. Quirks that made them total monsters that can't fit into society. Sounds like a problem with society, you know, with villains. I don't know. I didn't see anyone look this butt ugly that was actually a citizen. Do I sense discrimination going on here? Anyway, the fourth independent villain is Stain. And as you may know if you've been here for a while, with honest descriptions, I allow myself one character per honest description that I can actually praise and not talk bad about. And that makes sense. Stain. Yes, made absolutely no sense that he survived. A direct hit from Deku's full cowl punched his face. But that aside, Stain is an amazing villain, and in my opinion, he's the best part of My Hero Academia, so I will not be doing an an honest description on him. I
Fair
will, however,
enough.
be doing an honest description on the fifth and final independent villain we've seen so far in the anime, Innsmouth. Now, Innsmouth has a sick name. I mean, truly. Also, but ugly and angry at the world because he looks like a hybrid between Jar Jar Binks and Sabuba.
Not wrong.
This guy had a pretty damn important role to the story. As we know, in the Hosu arc, otherwise known as the Hero Killer arc, all the students in the school were sent off to apprentice by different pro-heroes. So, of course, Deku goes to Master Yoda because that's the point of the arc. Todoroki goes to Big Daddy because that's his point of his character arc. Bakugo goes to Bez Genius, who's one of the greatest characters of all time. I love Bez Genius, best boy. Link to my All Jeans merch in the description. But then we have the female characters. So let's talk about the most popular ones. We have Uraraka. You know, absolutely nothing sexual about her quirk, and therefore she was the perfect character to be horny for this entire arc. Training with Gunhead, a guy with the most handsome face ever, and Uraraka spends this entire toilful, painstaking arc to control herself from not staring at his abs and to hide her erection. Next most popular girl is Momo Yaoyorozu. Well, what did she do this arc? That's right, she partnered up with Hero Stripper, where Hero Stripper can teach her the art of the strip to turn on the citizens and give them the quirks come for all. Yes, very important heroing advice. But why am I mentioning this? What am I getting into this whole hero killer?
Why?
Oh yeah, remember the villain Innsmouth? Well, he was the villain in Froppy's training thing. Yes, Froppy's the other most popular girl in Hero Academia, so she partnered up with some fish people, and they fought Tentacle Rape Guy.
Yes, they did.
So we get Tentacle Rape, Frog Girl, and Frog Girl's partner, who coincidentally happened to also be a girl. Yeah, and then Sea Lion Man, with the greatest quirk of all time, beats the bad guy, and it turns to you on. Yes, this is a common trend in Hero Academia. Once again, shameless plug to my honest description on every hero in Class 1A. Yeah, that was really off tangent, but in a nutshell, that was the purpose of Innsmouth. So great news, beauties and gentle beauties.
The actual
we
villains.
All the independent villains, and now we can move on to the Vanguard action
squad. Saving this is going to be awesome.
First villain of the Vanguard Action Squad. Yes, that's right. Dabby on the haters. It's the legendary Dabby. Aside from Dabby dabbing, Dabby can use dabbing some ointment on his face. No offense, Dabby. You look but ugly. Speaking of dabbing on the haters, new Dabby on the haters merch, fam, and it came out looking freaking sick if I do say so myself. But I'm not gonna lie, it's this butt ugly Dabby unique design that made him one of the most loved characters in the series. You look at videos of Dabby on YouTube in the thumbnail about Dabby, they have bazillions of views. I mean, he won a decent position in the character rankings for most popular characters. When people talk about him being a brother to Todoroki, everyone's like, oh my god, that would be amazing. And yeah, honestly, it would be pretty amazing. But the point I'm trying to get across here is everyone loves this guy. He is an extremely liked character in the community. Heck, I like him, but he did nothing. Now, I'm not blaming any individuals. I mean, I like Dabby too, but as a community, don't we suck? I mean, he's one of the fan-favorite characters. He's one of the most interesting characters. Everyone loves him and loves talking about him, even though, at this point, he is bland as tuchus. Us anime plebs never saw any motivation for him to become a villain. We don't know why he's doing what he's doing. We have no idea how strong he is because he's never actually fought anybody aside from getting his ass whooped by Aizawa in 10 seconds. And oops, it was a clone jutsu. Not even used by him. But I only really noticed this aside from seeing Dabby videos on YouTube get views. And I pay attention to that stuff since I'm kind of in the business. Not that I've done any Dabby videos. But I noticed. And I also noticed a bunch of guys in the comments asking me to analyze Dabby. Fam, there's nothing to analyze. He's a loved character because he looks more iconic than your average ball sack. And ball sacks are pretty iconic. I mean, look at Deadpool. He looks like a ball sack. Pretty iconic. And no, I'm not really a hater, but did you ever think of this to yourself? What if haters Dabby back? Anyway, speaking of Deadpool, the next villain of the Vanguard Action Squad I would like to be talking about is Twice. Basically, Discount Deadpool. Yes, that's exactly his character personality, except worse in every way that makes Deadpool great. He doesn't do the fourth wall shtick. He's just better at the split personality trope. He has the same wacky pose styles as Deadpool
That's true.
despite badass-looking suit. And yeah, I've seen a lot of people calling him a discount Deadpool. And all those people doing all of that, well, they're all wrong. This is Twice's history. Slight spoilers if you don't mind, but really slight. Skip it if you want. Twice cloned himself zillions of times until he wasn't sure which was the original. They ended up killing each other off, and one was left standing. Still not sure if he's the original, so he kind of went bonkers. Now, the thing is, it doesn't really matter if he's the original or not. It shouldn't have any effect on his psychology, but it did. It drove him, well, to become what Twice is now. So all these guys claiming they understand Twice, he's just a discount Dead. They're wrong! They're wrong. Twice is a discount Billy Numerous from Teen Titans. His downfall was also that he made too many of himself. His downfall was that, at one point, he didn't know which was the original. He's a total jerk to everyone, a total wacko, with motivations just as nuts as Twice. This guy stole a bridge just because he could steal a bridge. God damn it. Billy Numerous is the better Twice. Billy Numerous makes clones to hang out with his clones. God damn it. I love this guy. Moving on to Himiko Toga, the undefeated Yandere Lali Ahigo Queen. That's right, another loved anime character from the series, another presumably best girl, another member of Deku's harem. God. And yes, the female characters that are always smiling in ecstasy, completely crazy, getting turned on by the idea of murdering people. Yes. If a dude would be doing that, well, we would not like him that much, I think. I mean, I talked about appearances, but try to imagine Dabi constantly orgasming as he thinks about killing. Well, honestly, we would not like him that much. But she's a girl, so we want her orgasming as much as possible. Her quirk is only really revealed in the manga, so I won't talk about it. But the only thing I will tell you about it is she definitely has AIDS. And aside from that, her quirk has nothing to do with hurling around and remote controlling those syringe canister thingies that she does. I mean, look at this. This is impossible. She ended up deciding to join the League of Villains because she looked up to Stain. Like most of the other villains in the series, me included. And she looked up to Stain because just like Stain does what's right, or at least what he feels is right, he'll take out the ones that are not just, and sacrificing himself to save those he feels are just. She's very similar. I mean, look, she wants to become friends with everybody. That's why she has the power of friendship and remains undefeated. Yeah, that, and she wants to all these people that she calls friends.
Yes.
Yeah, really deep-seated character. That being said, I actually really like her character and find great inspiration by the fact that she can take joy out of everything, and then she constantly has a lovely, smug, cute, adorable smile on her face. Yes. But as far as ships go, well, Toga X Twice changed my mind. Oh, and Toga could definitely give the best blowjobs in the entire My Hero Academia cast. No Bakugo comments, please. The next villain of the Vanguard Action Squad is Muscular. You know, that one obligatory villain that Deku had to one punch with 1,000,000% of his power. The power of friendship smashes the strongest smash ever. Don't United States smash me. Friendship beats the U.S. Muscular is a villain with incredible feats. You know, like managed to lose to a random high school kid, get beaten by two heroes that could spray water, and, you know, give away all their information to their entire attack plan. You know, 3 incredibly amazing feats that defines his character nicely. Even his plan of attack for the camp invasion made little to no sense. They sent him in from the side to the top of a mountain to do what? To beat Kota? Well, I don't know. They seem to have everything worked out except for, you know, dropping Muscular in the middle of nowhere.
No, didn't he just decide to go off on his own?
We'll give him that. Most people wouldn't be able to stand up against the power of friendship smash either. I personally still think it would have been way cooler if Muscular was Bakugo's dad, you know? Basically the same hair design, similar facial features, very similar temperament, and both pretty powerful dudes. I don't know. I think it would have been really cool, but instead, they decided, no, let's just make him get one-shotted by Deku.
Yeah, a bit wasted, like, but anyway.
Bakugo's dad was one-shotted by Deku. But anyway, kind of glad to be talking about Muscular here, because I don't know if I would have ever get the chance to point out how dumb it was that All For One did not take Muscular's power.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
Pitifully useless otherwise, but with Muscular's quirk added to All For One's arsenal of quirks, he would have splatted the schnizzle out of Orumaito. I mean,
quite possibly.
We know, an 100% smash from Deku wasn't able to knock this guy back. It took 1,000,000% of his power to beat the guy. This muscle quirk is extremely underrated as far as extremely powerful quirks, and added to All For One's arsenal, there would have been no more All Might. But anyway, moving on to the next villain. A villain with the most terrifying name of all time. That's right, it's Mustard. The dude with the gas mask. Farts out gas everywhere that poisons people.
He really didn't do
Thing
much
is,
either.
I know it's rude. I know it's impolite. That's why I don't want to make fun of Mustard being beaten by 2 B-class students. But instead, I wanted to insult him for screwing up the entire story. Mustard has a gun. Guns exist. I'm so happy they've actually agreed to this because it's been bothering me forever. Why don't people carry guns? Well, maybe they don't exist in this universe for whatever reason, but they do exist. If guns actually exist, then first of all, Momo can create them by pulling them out of her tummy. It's easier to make a gun than to make, I don't know, a working tracker and receiver. But aside from that, you have someone like Aizawa, whose power is to nullify the quirks of anyone he looks at. Give this guy a gun and he's unstoppable.
That's true.
Give every villain a gun and they're unstoppable. I don't know. I feel like this would be the simplest thing in the universe. But of course, they would carry guns. So
just give everyone a gun.
Dumber show. Why make it a dumber show? Just for the sake of logic. It's never stopped anyone before. The next villain is Magne. A very interesting name because the ability this villain possesses is magnet.
Yes.
Pretty insane.
The power of
magnetism.
magnetism.
And I don't want to beat around the bush, and I don't really want to talk about this character, and that's simply because despite this burly looking feller with the nice beard thing going on, you know,
there's a very bland look, doesn't it?
Damn beard. And this is a female character because Magne is transgender. Yes, the only transgender character happens to be a villain. But that aside, Magne's magnetism ability magnetizes people, polarizing men south and women as north. Therefore, people of the same gender repel each other, and if they are a different gender, they attract each other. A very fascinating ability for this character to possess because the ability itself is rigged to be anti the LGBTQ community. But because I try not to delve into the political world on this channel, I will duly avoid this transgender character and the homophobic quirk possessed. Moving on! By the way, fanbase, did you notice how I literally didn't say any pronouns for this character the entire description, not to trigger anyone? Oh, amazing! And now it just dawned on me that people will be triggered because I didn't use pronouns. But whatever, let's just not deal with this, please, please. Please! But in all seriousness, why was this the only character with a beard? Why? The next villain we'll be discussing is Spinner. No, not Fidget Spinner, but a different Spinner. This Spinner is one of the 7 deadly Ninja Turtles. Why the hell does it say that in my script? They wrote 7 deadly Ninja Turtles. I'm gonna totally keep this in. Impressed by Stain, this epic villain wears the ass bandana mask thing to conceal his secret identity. No one would be able to recognize him now that his identity was so perfectly hidden. I mean, I'm sure there's a ton of guys that would look exactly like him. I wouldn't be able to pick him up in a lineup. Thank goodness he has that eye mask thing. That's not the only thing he carries in reference to Stain. You know how Stain carried like 150 knives all over his body? Yeah. Well, Spinner also
he just puts them all in one thing.
And he tied them all together to make the super weapon. I think, honestly, my guess is that was his mentality when he created his Samehada over there. Just tie 50 swords together and bam! That's like 49 more swords than your average opponent that fights with swords, making you stronger. I mean, that's basically One Piece logic. Zoro used the third sword because he's like, oh, that's even better than 2 swords.
Well, yeah.
Hey, it works for him. He's a badass. I guess Spinner could be too. The next villain is Moonfish, a personal favorite of mine because he is clearly the mastermind behind all the villainy within the entire series of My Hero Academia. Moonfish has a wicked character design. Every bit of his character is thought of so cleverly. He just takes the cake as possibly the most genius character in the entire narrative.
Stop it.
This shatters all the ideas I've had that My Hero Academia is set to make all the female characters sexual while the male characters aren't. You know how all the female characters keep taking off their clothes to use their powers?
Yes.
And I've mentioned that quite a bit, in fact, in my honest descriptions of every hero in Class 1A. Moonfish is different. Don't say you like BDSM until you look like this masterpiece over here.
So weird.
What a guy. Truly an inspiration to all of us. In a modern society, Moonfish is the man to look up to because we live in a society. Whoever locked him in this straitjacket thing was clearly a genius because they were like, wait a second, most villains, you know, need to see. They need to use their arms and legs.
Yes.
So let's tie all that up. Let's just
not
leave
let him
his
do that.
mouth open. This was clearly a brilliant strategy because now Moonfish has full access to his ultimate quirk, the ability to grow his teeth. Yes, this beaver-like ability comes in handy in every situation. Getting annoyed at your dentist? Bam! Can't open the bottle of beer? Blam! Too tired to use your hands to type on your keyboard? Shazam! and it overpowers like Bakugo and Todoroki in like 5 seconds. Holy flip, was he badass. He just makes my heart
So
swell with
weird.
excitement every time he's on screen. Moonfish is an inspiration to all of us. Maybe they didn't realize putting a muzzle on him would be more useful than all the rest of that BDSM stuff. But now, before we continue, I leave a question for the fan base.
Okay.
Why is it that the League of Villains thought it would be a good idea to not untie him? They literally thought it was a better idea. Keep him in the caterpillar cocoon thing. He has his teeth free. Screw the rest of his body. We don't care. He needs to piss. So what?
So what?
Obviously they thought of that. Obviously they knew that he prefers it this way and he is a true fetish lord. So they respected him.
Fetish
and
lord.
I respect him as well. Moonfish is one of the greatest villains in all of anime. Don't at me. This is fact. Next is, Mr. Compress. It hurts me because I'm discussing Moonfish, one of the greatest anime characters of all time.
Jesus.
You know, brilliant motive,
So
brilliant
sarcastic.
backstory, all of that. Now we're on Mr. Compress. Every time I see an anime character that has a top hat, you know he's going to be a passive-aggressive asshole. You know he's not going to answer a single straight question, and you know he's going to be crazy overpowered, but never cashing in to that ability.
Yes.
I'm telling you, look at top hats in anime. Every anime character with a top hat has these quirks, and Mr. Compress is no exception. He captures Bakugo.
I'm thinking Blue Exorcist.
About it. Deku says, "Yo, give Bakugo back," and Mr. Compress is like, "Give him back? Is it that he belongs to you or something? He does not, so I shouldn't be giving him back." Huh, well, thank you, Mr. Compress. That logic totally makes it okay to kidnap the kid. Dude, shut the hell up. I hate passive-aggressive asshole anime clowns. Not to mention that overpowered thing I said that never cashes in. You do realize All For One's fighting All Might, and they're like gripping each other's fingers, playing Mercy with each other, and Mr. Compress says, "Ha poof, you're both marbles." That would work. That would work. This quirk is so insanely, ridiculously overpowered, it almost hurts me to think that this guy isn't, like, the strongest villain of all time. Not to mention he can freaking fly jump thing.
Yeah.
I guess maybe it's just anime characters that can fly jump, but he seems to be fly jumping really damn well. He trots over the damn forest. Not to mention the fact that
very elegantly.
if All For One would take Mr. Compress's quirk, he would have destroyed All Might in a heartbeat. No more passive-aggressive asshole clowns for me. I don't like anime characters with top hats, period, unless they're a passive-aggressive asshole good guy, in which case I love them. Mephistopheles, you're amazing.
There we go.
But
That's
if
all.
they're a
Yeah, I was
bad
thinking
guy, just screw those guys. Before we get into the League of Villains core operatives, I would like to talk to you about the Nomus. So, you know the Nomus, the first one appears, damn, it's just as strong as All Might.
Yeah.
And then progressively every single one of them gets weaker, with the Hosu Nomus being taken out by Endeavor easily. And then with the Chainsaw Nomu chasing a B-class kid, dragging Momo, still not able to catch up. Yeah, these guys really suck balls. Well, aside from the first one, because
First one was amazing.
And like Power Rangers, the first time you fight your opponent, well, damn, they're gonna overpower the schnizzle out of you, even if they're a putty. But then the second time you fight putties, they're just putties.
They're
And you
just
can
putties.
start killing out Nomus by the million. Funny little anime quirk I like to call Beginner's Rook.
Beginner's
Till the
Rook.
inevitable Super Nomu appears. Spoilers, that happens. And then, you start over, and then you have to fight all the Super Nomus, but then all the Super Nomus just become putties. Are you following my flow of logic? Well,
I
I may
think
have
so.
to do an entirely different in-depth video about the Nomus, because each and one of them has their own individual ideology and philosophy that must be dissected. No, they're not as good as Moonfish, but they're up there. They're up there. And now at last, we're up to the final 5 villains, the core League of Villains.
Damn
members.
right.
Now, I'm going to be going from most boring to most interesting because, well, most interesting last sounds cooler. First, we have Gigantomachia. But Nux, you said you're not going to be talking about villains that are manga only. I know. But I also know that the fan base is awesome enough to call me out on stupid little things that I missed. After the Stain fight, Gigantomachia is seen looking at a newspaper, and therefore is considered an anime villain. Honest description time. He was looking at a newspaper. He's included. Don't harp on me. I remembered him. Sorry, fam. And the next villain I would like to talk about is G-Rod. So this guy is basically the villain broker for the League of Villains.
Yeah, he brings him in, doesn't
he? He just sort of popped up in the bar and he's like, "Hey, I saw a shady bar. I figured you guys were probably the League of Villains because, I'm an epic detective guy. So now I'm gonna give you clients for money. And they're like, sure thing, man. You have clients, we have money. And he's like, sick.
Yeah,
I'm a bad
have these
guy.
guys.
See, my top shirt button, it's always unbuttoned. And I'm missing a tooth and smoking a cigarette. And they're like, damn, this guy's the greatest villain of all time.
Amazing.
Sure, of course you can be the League of Villains broker because it's run by Shigaraki, a 15-year-old schnook who's not 15 but acts that way. But more on that in Shigaraki's description. I have a sneaky suspicion it more went like this. I think they said what I said to cover it up, but PR wasn't that great and I kind of figured it out. Jiron walks in the bar, and he's like, hey, are you guys the League of Villains? They're like, yeah. And he's like, sick, I'm telling the cops, unless you give me a cut. And they're like, okay, here's a cut, don't kill the cops. Honestly, that's more likely, but I'm still gonna go because it sounds more epic. Next villain! At long last, we got the Kurogiri, a guy that, if you remember, was completely phantasmal in the USJ arc. Except for that neck piece, which Bakugo figured out you can grab.
Yeah.
But now, in the villain hideout raid arc thing, Kamui Woods tied him up all over. I guess he's not phantasmal anymore. What's going on? Oh. Is it because of Beginner's Rock that the first time he was shown, he was completely epic and borderline invincible? But now, of course, Kamui Woods
is one hell of a quirk.
He can tie him up. Even though Kurogiri can teleport himself. But no, Kamui Woods tied him up because of the power of twigs. You got another one of those invincible quirks that's just not used properly. When Dabi and Toga first pop into the League of Villains bar, and they attack Shigaraki while Shigaraki attacks them, he, without even touching the airspace or whatever, opens up little portals that everyone's knives and stuff stick in and pop out of different holes. Now, this may seem ridiculously powerful, and, well, if you think it is, well then, you're 100% right. This is ridiculously powerful, and is the ultimate way to defeat anyone ever. You can always, even if it's not touching your body, teleport anyone away and teleport them anywhere, even against their will as seen by Stain. You pick them up, you drop them in a volcano, goodbye. Or take a gun, because as we know, Mustard has a gun, they have guns. You shoot the gun, you open the portal, you open another portal next to good guy head, kablooey, head is gone.
Wow, okay.
I should become the chief strategist for the League of Villains.
You should.
I don't want to, insult Shigaraki's leadership.
He's doing an okay job.
Clearly he knows exactly what he's doing. Clearly he knows exactly what he's doing, but if I take over the League of Villains, I would destroy the world in like a week and a half, and even if that week and a half was like during exam season or something. That's how freaking easy it would be with the multitude of quirks these guys have. You put them together, and you're the ultimate invincible boss. Kurogiri opens a hole, Mr. Compress pops out, bam, the guy's a marble. Mr. Compress goes back in, sucks to be a marble. Let's just move on to the mastermind himself. The legendary Shigaraki Tomura. Yay, everyone's favorite villain. Probably because he's so handsome, but handsomeness aside, we're gonna have to honestly describe him. Okay, so step 1, don't shake his hand. Step 2, no high fives, do fist bumps, that way he melts his own palm. Good. Second thing, I'm gonna read to you his ultimate quote, and then we're gonna see if it makes any sense at all.
Don't shake his hand.
No world that categorizes the same violent acts as heroic or villainous. Yeah, they're not the same violent acts because, the heroic ones take down the villains. The villainous ones try to take down the hero. I think it kind of makes sense. Deciding what's good and what's bad. Well, bad is killing random people just for fun. Kind of what you're doing. Kind of. What's good is stopping the people that try to kill people just for fun. All right, keep moving on. Symbol of peace? Ha! You're just a device to repress violence. Violence only breeds violence. Yeah, that's why the hero of peace is trying to repress violence. As you've mentioned, violence breeds violence, so let's stop violence.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't hear his logic so well, but let's honestly figure out exactly what he's trying to say. Right, so after much contemplation, I could not make heads or tails of his motive. Probably because it makes absolutely zero sense. Oh, but he's a revolutionary villain. Revolutionary indeed. He's a hell of a kisser, I'll give him that. I mean, his lips just luscious. But that aside, I figured out the ultimate way to defeat him. And no, it's not with hand puns. Hey, you need a hand? Wow, you're so handy, etc. Hand puns suck. Everyone has to stop doing them because they're everywhere. What you have to do is say something so cringy that he facepalms. Because if he does that, well then, problem solved. But of course, I know the fanboys are going to attack me because that's basically the job of fanboys, saying, oh, it's amazing because as Deku develops towards his goals, Shigaraki also develops as a villain.
That's true.
Deku's goal originally was to become a symbol of peace, guy that saves people with a smile so that people can have faith in him and beat bad guys. That was his original goal, so him growing towards that kind of makes sense. The issue with Shigaraki is he has absolutely zero goal. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm being sarcastic. He has an epic goal, so he's striving towards this epic goal, making epic strides towards
originally he's like, I don't understand what I'm trying to do.
I mean, feels incredible.
What am I doing?
Because he's made so much progress. He wanted to be bad for the sake of being bad, and he's becoming bad for the sake of being bad.
Yeah.
What a revolutionary villain. So I am sorry, fanbase. I know you're probably shipping him with Bakugo, because everyone gets shipped with Bakugo. I don't know what it is about Bakugo, but my advice to Bakugo, do not get a blowjob from this guy. I don't know.
That's
like
gonna...
masturbating with sandpaper.
Yeah.
Not that I know how that feels. But for everyone that's going to say, but in the manga it becomes an epic villain. Okay, fine. Wait for the manga. I'm sure it'll become an epic villain. There. If he's the fanboys, I don't mind, because I have the fanboys. Yeah, it was cringe. This is in All For One's honest description, not Shigaraki's, because All For One's the genius that put Shigaraki in command.
Yes.
Well, Nux, you clearly don't understand the brilliant philosophy of All For One. He put Shigaraki in command because Shigaraki's the grandson of the teacher of All Might.
That was
So
a really good
All For One
twist.
hates All Might, he figured the best way to destroy him from the inside would be to take the grandson and turn him into such a disgusting villain, it would make All Might feel terrible. And
Make him
that's
feel
what
bad?
he did. Brilliant plan. He did his whole revival plan contingent to piss off All Might. He does everything for years, amassing his strength, amassing ultimate quirks, setting up everything in the shadows behind everyone's backs. And if you look at it, and you look at his noble goals, and the thing he was actually trying to accomplish, usually I'm like, I don't want to see a villain that just wants to be bad, or just has fun killing people, or wants to take over the world!
Chubby
I never
bird!
want to see a bad guy like that, because that motive sucks. You know which motive is even worse? That's right. Living your life to train Shigaraki to be a villain, to put your fate in Shigaraki's hands, to be beaten by All Might, so you could piss off All Might as revenge. If he wouldn't have stepped in to save Shigaraki.
It was an evil thing to do.
If he would have amassed more quirks, as I've mentioned, like Kuragi's, Dr. Compress's,
could have taken those,
other quirks in the future, that would eventually show up. Maybe he can do a sneak attack instead of, you know, fighting All Might head on where he lost. Even though, okay, he thought he probably would have won, but he didn't. And that was due to bad planning, because no, he was not at full power. But Nux, he cares about Shigaraki. BS! He does not care about Shigaraki. He's training Shigaraki to piss off All Might.
He just wants him to stay alive.
That's his ultimate strategy. Truth be told, we know very little about All For One. This is the only thing we've seen him do, and honestly, it's a little disappointing as far as epic main villain guy. Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna break out of jail, but the fact that he's in jail now is kind of annoying. And while I realize that saying bad things about My Hero Academia, especially an epic moment like All For One versus All Might, is a very bad thing. And according to the rules of YouTube, one is not allowed to say their honest opinion if it's negative towards popular stuff. So since I understand these rules, this is all sarcasm. All sarcasm.
All sarcasm.
You don't need to take any of it at face value. Oh, I was just being all satirical. Ha ha ha. Wasn't this a fun time?
God.
This whole video has honest in quotation marks, but at the same time, I feel like I'm the only honest without quotation mark YouTuber talking about Hero Academia. And if that sentence sounded really pretentious, we'll just put whole quotation marks on the whole thing. The whole video sarcasm anyway. Love you guys. Thanks for coming. Hope you enjoyed. Video was freakishly long because there are freakishly a lot of villains. Let me know in the comments what you'd like me to do next time. I'm thinking every student in Class 1B, but I am also thinking every pro hero and every
pro-hero and
so,
teacher would be good.
It is up to you guys. Let me know in the comments what you like.
Naruto
Feel
ones
free to
as well.
like the video if you enjoyed it in any way. If you were triggered by this video, well then please leave a like on the video, because let's make believe that was the goal. If you weren't triggered, then leave a like on the you get the idea. Basically, like the video.
Just like the video.
Scribble for more My Hero Academia content, whether super satire or actually really in-depth analysis, which I doubt you believe I'm capable of after watching a video like this. But it's possible, and I will link one at the end. Appreciate if you commented to me which honest description on which villain you liked best, honestly, because it'll help me come up with content more geared towards your preferred taste. It would actually be really helpful. And no, you sarcastic memers, you're all going to say stain. Don't say stain, please. Feel free to hit that bell if you want to subscribe, because YouTube stuff, you know, subscribing isn't subscribing anymore. It's the bell. Huge thanks to everyone that supported me until here. Link in the description to my Dabby on the Haters
That's
merch,
such a cool
which
idea.
came out looking pretty damn cool if I do say so myself.
Dabby on the Haters.
Right next to the link to my Twitter, which would also be a great help if you follow me there. If you want updates on the channel, if you want super shit posty stuff, which is really awesome, because I love that stuff. It gives me life. Also in the description, we have a link to my Patreon. Anyone who supports me there is invited to the Discord server, and it is also extremely appreciated. Like, really. If you have any idea how long it takes to make a video like this, you'd understand where I'm coming from a little better. But as far as the patrons, huge thanks to the 7 swag hoggers, Sasha, Emmanuel Bean, MD, JD Fincher, Q, Zindergarten, Axel, and an anonymous member, the 3 Lord Tweegers, Tyler Schumacher, Gavin Anderson, and Large Slab, and the 3 Garusup Rank,
I love this outro music.
and Ezedric. Huge thanks to all you guys for supporting me there. Huge thanks to everyone who actually took their time to watch this video. I know it's an extremely weird video, but I'm proud of my weirdness, and you should be as well.
Yes.
So, with these parting words, remember to stay weird, fam.
Amazing. Love it. Such cool tune. Amazing. That was brilliant. Loved it. Nux Taku, you are the man. Love it. So good. Oh, that was brilliant. I love it. The villains are great, and his sarcasm, Nux Taku's sarcasm, is just genius. I absolutely love it so much. It's so good. Not really much to say. I've got a curry I want to put on now. I'm starving. So yeah. Thank you guys very much for watching. What did you guys think of that? What did you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave comments down below. Let me know what you want to discuss in future videos. And I'll see you guys. It's all you guys next time.